Hello, everybody. Today we are going to be reacting to Wicked Part 1. And today I have a very, very special guest who has never seen Wicked before. Without further ado, here is Stouda.
Hey, thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
I'm so excited to hear your thoughts. Just a quick rundown for people who aren't familiar. This is someone that I look up to very much, and I value his perspectives and his thoughts on the world so much. I have known him for the past probably like 10 years, since I was a literal child. He is a
A
basketball
long time.
coach. He coached my brothers, my big brothers, when they were in middle school and high school. And then I played a little bit of basketball in middle school, and he did coach me. And so, yeah, he's a dear friend of my family.
Absolutely. You guys are family. I love every single one of you guys.
He just started Stouda Space, if you wanted to talk a little bit about that.
As Learrah said, I spent most of my life coaching. Um, but over recent years, I've learned that coaching is just another kind of way of world building, kind of helping kids and young people craft their worlds and how to scaffold what they're building. So, with Stouda Space, I just think it's time to kind of try to take it to a bigger world, a bigger picture, do more. I'm also working in my own animation. I'm writing a story that I'm going to do through Stouda Space that's really about people like Liara who've inspired me. The whole point of the story is about the amazing people I've met, not so much about me. I'm just a guy.
That is so incredible. And oh my goodness, thank you so much for saying that. Soda here is like one of my biggest inspirations in life. Just I always say he has like a golden eye for the world. Like he sees the good in everything. Taught me growing up to like be myself unapologetically. But in terms of Wicked and Wizard of Oz, have you ever seen Wizard of Oz?
I have seen Wizard of Oz. It's one of my childhood favorites, and still something I like to get lost in. Just be a kid again.
Yeah, I personally have a very special story with Wizard of Oz. It's the thing that actually got me into musical theater. When I was in sixth grade, we did Wizard of Oz at my school, and that was the very first musical that I'd ever been a part of, which is actually like the same year that I had you as my coach. So
Yes, yeah.
it's really full circle, and I'm very excited to share this with you.
Was in some musicals and things in high school as well. Before that, I started singing in like a church choir when I was young, and then that kind of just gave. And then around my freshman or sophomore year of high school, the bug to kind of get back into theater came, and I was in Joseph and Technicolor, Into the Woods, and it's just a passion of mine now that I love.
Do you know anything about Wicked? Have you ever seen it? Seen the show or anything?
Last time I think I watched in like 2006,
Wow.
an older version. So I have
Mm-hmm.
no real preconceived notions about it. I'm just kind of going in raw, just generally knowing it's in the Wizard of Oz universe.
Okay, here we go. I love the old timey Universal logo. The rainbow.
Velvet Road. It's just always amazing to me being a 90s baby. Just movies look amazing. They just look amazing.
Yeah, especially since Wizard of Oz was the first movie that was in color.
Like just this is just kind of crazy to see from my childhood memories of Wizard of Oz. And even just rewatching it recently, it's good.
Yes. It's Ariana Grande.
She's fantastic.
I love how the poppies are like a percussion.
Yeah, no, it's a genius. Musicals are so detailed.
Why does wickedness happen?
That's the real question.
That's a good question. They have their secrets.
Oh, her husband hasn't even left the house.
Yeah, yeah.
The baby is naturally.
The hilarity of a bear helping you deliver the baby, but the green baby being the weird thing.
I know, it's so arbitrary.
So her
She's
nanny,
so
Dulce
cute.
Bear, raised her. And as she grew, so did her challenges. You want to see something amazing?
A little cutie.
I know. I'm gonna fight these kids.
It can be cruel.
Now you've made your sister cry.
I am blaming her. She's getting bullied.
No one asked her what happened.
The effigy.
Into the discomfort. Without knowing what was coming, you can see that she wasn't completely on board with celebrating the death of the Wicked Witch, but that she recognized she had to. So intense. But when you make people feel bad for a long time.
Yeah.
Is it true you were her friend?
This girl's an instigator.
I mean, I did know her.
She gave a very corporate answer, which was not really committing to saying they were friends, not saying that we knew each other.
What an intro.
Oh yeah, that was just the intro. That's fantastic. Fantastic.
And it's in the same font as The Wizard of Oz. I love the little details.
It all matters.
That strangers are just people I've never met.
That is what they are.
Yeah.
Bye.
Can't argue that.
So if at some point you wanted to address the problem.
We in society often, when people think they're helping you fix a problem that you are quite comfortable with.
Yeah.
That your existence is a problem, as if, because to them, it would be hard.
Yeah.
To them, they couldn't imagine what it's like having all the eyes on you and paying attention to you and whatnot. In her own really, really selfish, ego-driven way, it highlighted her lack of empathy in the moment.
How did that come across?
I don't see color.
Yeah, I don't think color usually is never a good thing.
Yes. This dad is so rude.
Thank you for your contribution to our university.
Mad at the wrong person. Should have been mad at the mom.
To have our esteemed dean of
She's green. Get over yourself.
Madam Laura.
And again, we were all okay with the goat being recognized, but not the green person.
For real.
The last thing I watched her in was a Netflix show, Brother's Son or something. It was so good. It was fantastic.
Wow.
We have nothing. How tragically beautiful you are. It is such an honor.
Tragically beautiful.
Let her go!
That escalated quickly.
Yeah.
But hey, she wasn't listening.
It's true. Some people think they're helping when they're not.
To prepare you to expect.
She's taking the blame.
This is good. Hard enough being green. Don't need everyone to know magic just yet.
Exactly.
I would like to teach you privately and take no other students.
Thank you so much.
She made sure to say that loud enough so Glinda hears.
Yeah, definitely.
We need a pastry. We need a
We
pastry.
need a pastry.
Thank you for covering for me. And I'm humbled. Welcome to Shiz.
The initial offer always sounds so good.
For real.
She just to be recognized. It's a soul window when you hear someone sing. You hear their soul, right? You feel their soul. And again, this is the acting part of it and the performing part of it. You hear, because we don't see it, but you hear the years of pain that she went through. You hear all the hardships and of being different, of doing it all, and it's just a beautiful thing. And you hear how much she's clinging to a dream.
Yeah.
It's been the one thing that's gotten her through this whole thing.
Yeah.
You hear that. You can literally hear it. And I don't know, the whole, it's just incredibly powerful. But I think then also the juxtaposition from Ariana Grande's voice, which is magnificent. But then the next time we get a big number, we hear her, and it's entirely different.
Yeah.
Just as magnificent and just as you hang on to every word. And
That's so cool.
yeah, that was probably the most incredible scene of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Because whether intentional or not, I'm pretty sure it was, because everything he did was intentional.
Yes.
But it was another example of like, just in case you're not sure, this is what we're talking about.
Yes.
Like, this is it. Like, no green, this is who she is, and this
Exactly.
is the actual conversation here.
A celebration throughout Oz. That's all to do.
It's a different type of celebration.
But she wasn't wrong. And then the lyrics, I think the lyrics, obviously, they were written a while ago, but they're beautiful. They're done well, and you can tell the whole story with just the songs. You don't even need the other stuff.
Yeah, the foreshadowing in the lyrics where she says that she has a vision of a celebration that has to do with her, and that she'd be so happy she could melt.
And again, I just can't imagine how many times she had to sing it.
While running and jumping.
I so enjoy air.
Oh my goodness.
You know what I mean? Roommates do these things for each other. So I've been told.
They're doing a great job of answering why she became wicked.
Yeah. Everyone treats her horribly.
Guesses. Because this is a letter.
I know how much she wants to be.
They're like writing the same thing, but from entirely different perspectives.
Yes.
One is very much so, I'm struggling, I'm going through this. The other is, hey, I'm doing my best. I'm going to take care of my sister. I'm going to make sure we do the right thing. And it just speaks to where, from the beginning, right, the Wicked Witch she was taught basically from birth through no fault of her own, through being raised by her own nanny. She was taught that service to others is how you make yourself valuable. Yeah.
Perfect word to describe
To her, she's just like everyone else is treated or anything. Not true. Two people probably couldn't be any more different.
For real. Oh my gosh. A green roommate is sent to try us.
Perspective and her privilege is what makes that the first thing she's ever had to overcome in her life.
Yeah.
Sharing the space with someone she doesn't want to be with. First thing she's ever had to overcome in her life. Whereas on the other side, her dad kicked her out the moment she was born.
Yeah.
Right? So, yet she had to find a way to still love him, respect him, and practice empathy. So, to me, the song highlights that their differences weren't nearly as big as they thought they were.
Exactly. They only hate her because she's different.
And then because Glinda told them to. We also see how much they could be friends if they could find the common ground.
Yeah.
If they could find the common ground. Glinda also is struggling with identity and struggling with. She stands out, but she stands out in such a way that it's just as lonely as the way that Elphaba stands out.
Exactly.
She's her own lonely.
Yeah.
And the only way she feels she can be seen is to be accepted by the wealthier and more powerful. There's so many reasons to dislike someone, legitimate reasons. I don't understand why you have to dislike them because of their color. I dislike a lot of people, but never for their color.
Yeah. Even her paper is pink.
Excuse me.
Like, raise your hand.
Precisely. Food was scarce.
I don't see why you can't just teach us history instead of always harping on the past.
Because we cannot escape the past.
They're even going after the animals. What is going on?
Anyone who's different. It's always easier to blame different. He reminded me of a college professor I had.
Oh.
Who did very similar things, and we had very similar conversations. And because that's why you go to college.
Yeah.
To learn the truth.
Exactly.
To learn the truth and to be led and get things. But it also, I think, very cleverly points to there's not much difference between him and the other people in charge.
Yeah.
So who do you actually trust, right? Because he's someone in power and we trust his word, but they don't. And that's where it also comes back to just, you got to trust your gut, trust your instinct. That's, to me, that's the job of an educator. That's the job of you work for your students. You don't work for your system.
Yeah.
The systems, it pays bills, but the job is to make sure we produce kids and people who can see the fog and be there for each other.
Wow.
And keep moving.
It's emotion based.
Not just emotion based. It seems to be like empathy based.
Yeah.
She's trying to protect others.
What type of animal is that?
You'll find if you make it discouraging enough, you can keep anyone silent.
It is eerie and sad how often movies have showed us the consequences of our actions, and we keep doing the same thing.
Yeah, it's horrible. He's losing his ability to speak.
So sorry, miss. We didn't see you there. You must have blended with the foliage.
Is this how you go through life? Just running up?
And the defensiveness, is that a recent development?
Her defensiveness, which I think is brilliantly done, and the prince brilliantly calls out,
Yeah.
is born from a life of knowing everyone's anxieties about your skin. So you walk in apologizing for your own existence.
Yeah.
You walk in apologizing for what they may think about you, apologizing, and you shrink yourself so you can enter the room.
Yeah.
It's the first person she met that didn't care immediately. He acknowledged it, but didn't care. He gives me Bridgerton vibes.
Yeah, he's from Bridgerton.
Oh, well, there you go.
And that's the same horse he rides in Bridgerton.
Oh, very nice. I enjoy Bridgerton's representational take on that time period.
Yeah. Even the horse walks with so much swagger.
Anything you want.
Just to move out the way.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's anything.
How are you?
Our first fight.
He is so charming.
All the little details, it's amazing.
The set
brings it all to
design.
life. And the people who work on them, they work tirelessly. And we never really learn their names.
Rare books around here somewhere.
Hope they know we appreciate them, though.
Yeah.
Well,
I think they won an Oscar for set design.
right.
I believe it. He's fantastic. Just his luck that he gets thrown in the middle of this stall.
Yeah.
Of Munchkin Land.
Oh my
Great.
goodness.
Excuse me. Good to know.
Gotta own yourself, man. Be unapologetically you, even if it's small.
Dude, take a hint.
Stop studying, strive.
Not the librarian.
And learn to live.
He can charm anybody.
Except Alphaba, it seems. That library is so cool.
Yeah.
Glinda.
Yeah, it's so good.
I would do anything for you.
Well,
That is just so not nice.
Yeah.
So many levels.
Go ask her right now.
she's right there.
Passing him off.
This is wrong on so many levels.
Yeah.
Like, on so many levels. The first one is the most obvious one, right? Just he's interested in you, just simply reject him. Like, you're not interested. That's really what the but then because you don't have the ability to reject him, you pass him off to the girl because you pity her.
Yeah.
And that didn't
I
feel
love helping
right
others.
either.
Yeah.
And then there's the other part of it, like,
And I
you know,
happily-
he's a munchkin from Munchkin Land. He has his own issues.
Now
We see it when he first meets the prince and he hands on the books to make himself feel tall. So he has some self-esteem issues. And so it almost just feels like she's just, hey, neither of you guys have self-esteem. Go help each other out. And that just feels really icky and dirty. Has she known anything about either one of them? She's like, hey, you guys may have this in common. That might be good. But that was just simply, I don't actually like either of you, so let me put both of you out of my head.
Wait, Glinda.
Don't you dare say another word against her.
It's a tough spot to be in.
Yeah. I love that dress so much.
The most. Fiyera's gonna lose what's left of his.
It is extravagant. I love suit. That's not bad either.
No.
No.
Always hated.
You know, Black. Is this your stink?
She won't even put it on herself. She thinks Glinda did something nice for her sister and then her.
He's trying to give Glinda the benefit of the doubt. Unfortunately, once people generally show you who they are, that's who they are then.
Wow. It's under the sea.
Yeah, that's a crazy visual.
I love how the sounds, like their footsteps, go with the music.
Yeah. All of it synchronized and detailed. No sound or motion wasted.
She's wearing the shoes.
Wearing the shoes, so she feels beautiful. And good on Bach for at least making sure she has a good time.
Yeah. He should still tell her the
For now.
truth.
Absolutely.
And you can
No one wins from
never
lies.
Actually, I have no faith in you. This is your roommate's idea. I doubt you will.
Damn.
You may want to.
She needed to hear it, though.
What?
Maybe not that harshly, but she needed some humbling.
Yeah. All Alphaba ever wanted to do was to, make Nessa feel comfortable and make sure that she's taken care of. And every time she, does something, albeit it might have been an overreaction to use magic or whatever, but she can't control that. And, Nessa's, of course, the favorite child. So all she hears from her dad is she is always making a spectacle of herself when it's no,
you can't support your sister while she's dancing. It may be awkward, it may look weird, but that was how her dad always talked about Alphaba, and everything was always, she never seen it from another perspective.
Yeah.
She's dancing.
Yeah.
But they flinch. And it's again, those are the very subtle but which are brilliant because as humans like you and I, we exist. We see it. This is what people do sometimes when we show up in certain spaces. And so it was honesty. It was film honesty. It was being honest about what happened, and it was brilliant.
So this much. She doesn't give a twig when anyone thanks.
Of course she does. She just pretends not to.
She learned to not care because she had to survive.
Exactly.
Doesn't mean it didn't hurt. We just can't tell you because we know you don't actually care.
Exactly.
So we just move on.
It's not like it's your fault.
It is.
It is. Yeah, her sister really sucks though.
Yeah.
The sister was really ready to dip out on her. That was cool.
Yeah, I love that scene so much.
Wait a second.
Glad Glinda grow up moment.
For real.
Ever.
What do funerals count?
Still has some things to apologize for.
Yeah,
that was a moment.
It's my fault.
No, it is not.
What? No.
No.
That was the
Not at all.
That might be your secret, Alphaba, but that doesn't make it true.
You too, Glinda. Your secret wasn't true.
Yeah, I was getting married to a guy who doesn't know.
I've decided to make you my new project.
Well, you really don't have to do that.
I know. That's what makes me so nice.
Girl.
That's back to Glinda being Glinda, right?
Yeah.
She had a moment of progress, and then we kind of went back to where we first met her at, where she believes that other people's disadvantages are her problems to solve in like a pet way.
Yeah.
Not in a way like, hey, you could solve it by talking to other people to treat her better. No, I can fix you and that's not her fault. That's the same conditioning and training that Elphaba's gone through that's made her be so defensive and other things.
Never mind.
Yeah. Okay.
Put these right there. Everything that really
The
counts to
3
be
clicks of the
popular.
heels.
Little detail. Glinda is somewhat exhausting. She has too much free time.
Yeah. She needs to get a hobby.
There's too much free time. Yeah, she's trying to fix everyone's problems. Just go do something. When she sees other people's problems as just kind of a fun thing to do.
Yeah.
Which is a privilege, right? Because trust me, when you have your own problems, you're not fixing them.
Yeah. Exactly.
And Glinda doesn't necessarily mean bad. She doesn't know the world any other way. She comes from such extreme privilege, and her ego's driven, and she's ambitious.
Yeah.
It's not like she doesn't want to accomplish anything. She wants to accomplish things, but she hasn't learned to see others.
Just not quite as popular.
Yeah, that was always the implied part there.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure everybody knows. Oh, now everybody's cool with her.
Come on, goats.
Oh my gosh.
Man, it feels like that was written yesterday.
Yeah.
because those are things happening, around the world everywhere. And first off, he is the goat, the literal goat, right?
Yeah.
Because he,
Are we
he
all just gonna
risks
sit there in
everything to
silence?
tell the truth,
Yeah.
to teach his students the truth, to teach truth to power.
They already having a replacement for him.
Of course.
Well, someone's got to do something.
It's the opium in the poppies.
Yeah. Whether she realized it or not, she's doing something, I guess. Why didn't the opium infect him?
I don't know. Maybe he did too much of it before. He's used to it.
Yeah, he has pretty lot.
Oh. It's like Toto in the basket.
And it also speaks to empathy, like you said, because had she not been birthed by a bear and raised by a bear, maybe she doesn't have the empathy in that moment that the others have. Maybe that's why in that moment she's able to immediately say this is wrong. Because she wouldn't know how to speak if not for a bear teaching her how to speak. So the idea of animals not knowing, being able to speak on a deeply personal level hits her. That's terrifying.
Yeah.
Terrifying, 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 and terrifying because that movie came out a year ago, and the things that have happened in this country since, like, that scene was so jarring because that scene takes place across this country, maybe not in classrooms, but it's taking place across the country daily, and it was painful to watch, but also important to watch. From a historical perspective, that gets to why we burn books,
Yeah.
why we restrict education, why we do certain things, because they never learn the words to speak. If they never learn the things to say, then we never fix it. It just gets worse and worse and worse. Because if they can't advocate for themselves, right? If the baby cub couldn't advocate for itself in the cage, and no one in the room would advocate for it, it just spends the rest of its life in the cage.
Yeah.
I happen to be genuinely self-absorbed and deeply shallow.
Oh, please.
Deeply shallow.
Otherwise, you wouldn't be so unhappy. I'm not that girl.
Yeah,
But you are that girl.
You are
He's
that.
just not that.
Yeah. You are that girl.
That's cool.
It's a cute little hot air balloon. She said mustn't get you wet, so she knows that she will die.
Yes, it already knows.
I think about it constantly.
Gets in between
poor
them.
Dr. Dillamond. It makes
She definitely knows she missed something, but she doesn't know what.
Glinda.
Oh my goodness.
Such braverism.
Wow. What a stand.
Yeah, she took a real stand there.
Glinda.
Oh my gosh. This guy
Yeah.
needs to stop simping
Yeah.
over Glinda.
Yeah, and she had to know, right? A woman's intuition, she had to know. She was definitely right to not call her a friend, though. It was a bit more complicated than that.
Yeah.
It's like exactly what you would think it would look like.
And
the brilliance and the opulence of it, and the coolness of it.
Presenting the absolute factual story of our
Absolute
wonderful Wizard of
factual
Oz,
story.
starring the Emerald City.
Yeah, anytime they have to tell you that, it's usually not.
Yeah. This is Indina Menzel and Kristen Chenoweth. They were the originals on Broadway.
Oh, nice. Oh, they look familiar. This is really good.
He's just saying Omaha.
The obviousness of how easily people can be, I don't want to say fooled, because they aren't fooled. They wanted something to believe in.
Yeah.
As a people, as a society, and he gave them that, which you can argue may or may not have been a good thing.
It's like Disneyland.
Yeah, it's exactly what that looks like. Which is cool. Love the Disneyland fireworks.
It's Jeff Goldblum.
You know, when I'm back there, I cannot make out people's faces.
That man's a legend. He's actually the perfect role for Jeff.
Yes.
So, hello, Belinda. What you looking at there? Oh yeah, let me see.
It is the best one, I think.
Yeah, yeah. Nice contrast with the emerald.
He just is like so whimsical and so Like you want to believe him, even when you know.
That's the word. He's whimsical. He's mythical. He just has an air to him that like simultaneously he always knows what he's talking about, and he's probably BSing you
Yeah,
at the same time.
exactly.
All the time.
This guy is so extra.
Absolutely. He's a showman.
That book is so cool.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh. That looks painful.
Very painful. And of course, animals can't speak anymore, so he couldn't tell.
When he saw birds, he didn't want to fly. He just wanted to be free.
Yeah. He just wanted to watch birds and be free. But they manipulated her. But her want to be accepted, her want to prove her teacher right, her want to show the Wizard of Oz how right he is, that she just doesn't ever stop to question.
Yeah.
Which is like the alphabet we meet throughout the entirety, by the way. She questions everything the whole time. But in that moment, from the entering of Oz, it was her dreams were fulfilled, and she didn't once think it could go the other way. And what it speaks to is that pain is something that can be manipulated when we don't deal with it, when we don't honor it and deal with it. And manipulated alphabet's pain.
Everybody knows that the best way to bring folks together is to give them a real good enemy.
But that may have been the most truthful thing said the whole movie. And because it's true, I recently was joking with a friend of mine. I said, I think the only thing that might be able to save humanity right now is an alien invasion. To give us a common enemy.
Yeah.
We'd stop fighting with each other and we'd focus on a common enemy. And it's a sad truth of humans, it seems.
Elfie, listen to them.
No.
If you want to keep your families safe.
If you want to keep your family safe, what?
Give them someone to blame and just in case, make the threat. And even that is still back to because the animals can't talk. He couldn't tell his fellow birded winged monkeys that it was them that had it done to them. And so we eliminate that ability, and suddenly you can manipulate them to do whatever you want. They have to believe what you say. In that story they tell, they mention it that everyone forgot how to read.
Yeah.
That everyone forgot the ways, which, is what they're doing to the current animals now. And it's how they got in this whole mess to begin with.
Yeah.
Right? A guy was able to come and say, I know what it says. And because no one else knows what it says, he was able to con them.
Yeah.
He was able to con them into doing whatever they wanted. And again, it was another brilliant, very subtle, but brilliant, like, hey, this is the path we're headed on if we don't pay more attention. Almost.
Yeah.
No, because as you said, they represent different kinds of people, but they do such a good job of making sure that no one is like just evil. No one is just a flat, one-dimensional character. We can see and understand why they get where they get. Because it's important to understand, as again, the whole movie starts with the question, why is she wicked? There's a reason for all of it, everything that happens. And so
nobody's truly wicked. Nobody's truly good. And even though, stories may tell you that, you have the Wicked Witch and then Glinda the Good, it's more nuanced than that. And I love that so much because it shows the humanity in it.
I mean, and not just submission. They don't like Glinda.
Yeah.
They don't like her at
They don't
all.
even like
they only
you.
Tolerate. Crazier still is Glinda still chooses to work with them. The justification, I think, is so brilliant, and then just the social political side that they're getting into, in that they say that her evil is just a manifestation of the color of her skin.
Yeah.
That's so amazingly done from an artistic standpoint, vile and evil from a human standpoint, right?
Yeah.
But that's what they're pointing out, is just how easily we become manipulated. That person's different. Therefore, different has to manifest as evil, as bad, as harmful, because it doesn't look like everyone else.
Yeah.
And I just thought they said it over and over and over again, which I really appreciated. To, again, not your choice, but to understand that the only thing they don't like about the Wicked Witch is that she's a different color.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the only real thing. They would have nothing else to say. And it's really powerful, really, really powerful. It's so beautiful because I think we've all been there too. We've all had dreams and hopes of I'm gonna get to this place and they're finally gonna see me for me.
Yeah.
They're finally gonna accept me for me. I'm not gonna have to answer all of these questions. I'm not gonna have to be defensive. And we've all gotten to our Oz, and we've all realized no, those same
Yeah.
questions still exist.
And I love how those two characters, they show, you know, almost how Madame Morrible and the Wizard of Oz got to their place. They were Glindas in this situation where, you know, their own ambition and egos just continue with the broken system.
I think as you point to and continue to point to is that the whole thing of Oz is about the American dream, and it only works with endless ambition. You keep people, hey, I have to go here, I have to get here, and then they don't worry about who they step on to get there.
Yeah.
They don't worry about who loses to get there. They don't worry about the people at the bottom. They simply focus on what they have to do to get there. She doesn't even notice that they don't like her.
Yeah.
They don't bother to learn. They don't bother to learn her name. They don't bother to learn anything about her. They don't actually care about her. They just will use her to help get to where they want to get.
I love the texture on the broom. It's like a tree. I think that's where Glinda, she realizes like, oh, I don't have that power. Yes, you can fly around, but it's kind of one of those things that's like, is it better to take things out from the outside or to take it out from the inside?
And while she doesn't go with her, she seems to completely acknowledge that it is the right thing to do. For her. Glinda realizing, maybe I'm not strong enough to fight this fight that way.
Mm-hmm.
When they both are saying, I hope you get what you want, I think they're being genuine.
Yeah.
I think Alphabet recognizes the pain that Glinda has and that this might be the only thing that can help fill it, even if it's the wrong thing.
Yeah.
And Glinda recognizes the same in Alphabet, and I think that's a powerful thing. Beautiful storytelling. It wasn't enough to know she could fly. It wasn't enough to know she knew magic. She needed to heal her inner child.
Yes. Wow.
Good for her.
Wow.
It was fantastic. It's so good. But then it's like, man, it sucks that it's so like relevant.
Yes.
In the real world.
For real.
As great as it is, it also sucks that it is. My initial thoughts are just, I mean, it's fantastic. I think anytime we all know the story of the Wicked Witch from the original Wizard of Oz, right? But like, as the girl states in the opening, what makes someone wicked, right? And we seen through the story, it's about narrative control. Who gets to tell your story?
Exactly.
Who gets to tell your story gets to decide who's wicked, because, well, she doesn't seem very wicked there in the end.
Yeah.
But power. And also, I mean, from just the social perspective and psychology of institutions search for people like her with power, but aren't necessarily tethered to hope they can convince them to help continue what they're doing. So I just thought it was extremely poignant and really, really well done. And still within the Wizard of Oz universe, and gave everyone more depth. Yeah, I just thought it was beautifully done.
Yeah.
The only painful part is just how much it relates to what we see daily now. You know, I have to tell you twice about how often it is that people who have zero to do with the problem are being scapegoated and blamed for the problem.
Yeah.
So it was really, really beautifully on the nose, because I think we need to be more on the nose with those conversations.
Yeah.
Thinking about it roundabout ways, people aren't listening.
Exactly.
Aren't listening to them.
I love how the original Wizard of Oz it's often regarded as like the American dream, like the classic. It's very prominent in our culture, when even in that we knew, you know, the wizard was a fraud, and that, you know, it's up to ourselves to make our dreams happen. But the way that they they were able to tell this story and kind of, you know, flip the narrative and, you know, show us that like it's not always as easy as listening to whoever's most popular, listening to the leaders, you know. Yeah, I love how relevant it is. I mean, the musical came out over 20 years ago, and even so it's still so, you know, relevant.
And that's the terrifying part, is that it's almost more relevant now than it was then. Like, it's almost one to one. There are things said there. They're like, you can turn on the news and hear some people in our
Exactly.
politics say those exact same things, and that's kind of crazy that that's where
Exactly.
we are. But that's why for me it was important to even watch this with you and be here, because we need to have more of these conversations. We need to watch more of these kind of films, because those are ways to invite more into these conversations. We got to fix something before we start looking like the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, this is exactly why I knew I needed you to see this and I needed to hear your perspective on it, because there's so many parts of it that's just like it parallels our real life world, even though this is like supposed to be a fictional world. It's wild how they even just straight up say it.
And given what's happening in the world right now, that kind of feels like exactly what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
Inspiring that enough of us are having these conversations that we're trying to do our best to keep it from happening.
Obviously, you know, we all know Ariana Grande and what she's capable of, but like not like this. We haven't been able to see her, especially with her acting and, you know, her operatic voice. It's not something that we're privy to.
Yeah, no, there was, as it went along, especially because like I listen to a lot of music, seeing her depth and her ability as an actress, and her ability to convey certain things without actually saying anything, right? Like those are the real skills of acting.
Yes.
Anyone can read a script, right? But the facial expressions, the body mannerisms, the tone shifts and changes, and then to do all of that while also showing such range and depth with her voice that we haven't. Um, I thought she was absolutely fantastic, and portrayed Glinda in the perfect way to be like the perfect foil to do what she needed to do. Like, we love Glinda and we understand Glinda's perspective, but we're like, well, we don't really want to ride with Glinda.
Yeah.
Which was exactly the right way to do it. And yeah, I just thought she was brilliant.
Yeah, one of my favorite parts is, I mean, I saw it last year, I saw it 7 times in theaters, and, you know, I watch it every so often, but like seeing that opening scene again and knowing their story and what they've gone through, and, you know, she's a public figure, she's trying to put on this face for like the people, like, oh, it's we're so happy, like no one mourns the wicked, blah blah, but then, you know, she's like throwing fire on the effigy and like burning her best friend pretty much, and you can kind of see that in her acting.
That's actually one of the things I really look forward to, and the second one I hope is getting more into the emotions of what Glinda goes through between now and, because I think we hinted at there's an internal conflict there for her too.
Act 2 is very it speaks a lot more to how Glinda feels, her dealing with the consequences and choices that she made. But one of my favorite things is it's kind of like it's a double entendre where you can look at it as no one mourns the wicked or no one mourns the wicked, and that's Glinda. Glinda is not wicked. She's not a bad person. She's just very naive and very ignorant. If you didn't know, Cynthia Erivo, who plays Elphaba, she's the first Black woman who has ever, I think there's been understudies before, but she is the first Black woman who has played Elphaba. And to me, it's just like that adds so much more to the role.
Yeah, I think it makes it hard to ignore what they're saying. It's very easy to ignore the clear points if she's not Black. But her being a Black woman and the whole subject matter being about the color of her skin makes you have to sit with the discomfort of how we view those things.
Exactly.
Have a choice. You don't get to say, oh, it's just paint, or it's no, if you take the paint off, she'd still be the only Black one in most of those scenes.
Yeah, it's truly like on the nose, and it really is telling to like how we as a society are kind of
Make it really obvious what we're talking about here.
mm-hmm.
We're not hiding. We're making it really obvious what this conversation is about.
Yeah.
And again, the brilliance and the bravery of her, right? Like I didn't watch the movie, but I do remember what she went through when she was cast in the role in social sphere and the way people spoke about her being in the
Yeah.
role. So for her to embrace the role so powerfully and then to do it so amazingly, um, I think it speaks volumes about her as a person, as a woman, and as an artist, to be willing to take that role on, knowing how it reacts.
Yeah.
When you're a person of color, when you play those kind of roles, it takes real strength, and she she was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
I don't know if she won any awards, but she should have. No, yeah, the way they tackled ableism in subtle ways to make sure that we acknowledge that and we pointed to the discomforts with that and how again similar to Galinda in the beginning with sometimes people think they're helping, right? Because well you see that person in a wheelchair, but disabilities and disabled, those are perspective things, right? I look at that person in a wheelchair and think, man, that must be hard. But if they've been in a wheelchair their whole life, that's life. It's not a
Yeah.
disabled. It's just life to them. And so we have to listen, respect, but be aware, right?
Yeah.
Be aware, know that person's in a wheelchair, but listen to them. Listen
Exactly.
to them. And I thought it was so brilliantly done. And even I thought it was brilliantly done in how they handled the dating
Mm-hmm.
and we don't talk about dating in the disabled community nearly enough and how
Yeah.
hard and difficult that whole experience is. Pity and all those things are
Yeah.
real, and so I thought it was very good that they acknowledged it and that they talked about it, um, and that she acknowledged it. Actually, I think that's the most important thing, that we didn't
Exactly.
acknowledge her, that she got to acknowledge that she's aware that he felt sorry for her
Yeah.
and that she's aware of how those dynamics play and that as long as she's okay, she's okay.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, because of this thing's for Galinda, I think that's all gonna fall apart next in the next season. But
Yeah.
no, I thought it was again throughout the story. I thought they did a great job of empowering everybody.
Yeah.
Um, everyone was empowered to speak their truth and speak their piece, and that's something that's rare in movies.
Yeah.
And I thought they did a really good job.
It's really difficult to touch on so many subjects where often we see them in movies and it feels kind of performative. It's kind of like, oh, that doesn't have to do anything, but it's just so intertwined in this story, and they did an incredible job. I know that Marissa Bodie, who plays Nessa Rose, she's the first fully wheelchair bound person who has ever played that role too, which is
And that's awesome. And those things are valuable because that adds to the script, right? Like that's probably why the conversations feel more genuine and more honest
mm-hmm.
because she is that is her life. That's her real lived experience, and so she can channel it and explain it in ways that don't feel so forced and contrived and like they're written by a Hollywood script. I think the other one I think they did well. One that I think we're all very familiar with is the prototype white male savior,
Yes.
right? But they avoided that trope
Yeah.
because he listened. He listened, he listened, he listened. He acted when she asked for help. He didn't assume she needed help.
Exactly.
He reaffirmed, he validated, and he never asked for anything in return for his help. There was nothing.
Yeah, it
He
wasn't
just helped because he felt it
transactional.
was right.
Let's go into Madame Morrible's character. How did you feel when you first saw her? Did you know she was gonna turn out to be evil, or were you?
So it's a funny irony, right? Because I'm a coach and so I mentor and I
Mm-hmm.
lead and all those things. I am so distrustful of people who willingly walk in to mentor and lead
Mm-hmm.
because it's a power dynamic.
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer in that you know, particularly in a situation like that where there's a clear vulnerability, when power is that aggressive and like, hey, we need you, we want you, we
Yeah.
need you, we want you, it immediately makes me question.
Yeah.
It just immediately makes me question. Um, so for me, yeah, but I also get it because I'm always looking for kids who need help.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always looking on campus, hey, no one taught kid at lunch today.
Yeah.
Let's invite you to go be a part of something. And in that, that's one of those things in life. that I think we all can get better at is recognizing those people around us. Because what happens in life is those people get got one or two ways. They're either going to find really, really friendly people who are going to look out for them, or they're going to get caught up in systems who are going to take advantage of it. But also, Michelle, she's such a great actress.
Incredible.
She's so great.
Honestly.
She's so good. There are times where I was like, maybe she's not going to be bad. I believe
Yeah.
it. And again, I loved how they handled her role because we're so conditioned to not question power and leadership, particularly when it validates us, when it
Yeah.
makes us feel seen in ways we want to be seen.
Yeah.
And there's nothing inherently wrong with that, right? Because it's important to have, but it's a reminder that that's a very slippery slope there. And there's a line there that we have to be mindful of on both sides as both leaders and mentors and as people seeking to be led and looking for mentees. We have to question everything.
Yeah.
Always, always, always.
In the musical, she's very like whimsical, and she's not so stoic. Whereas I love in the movie how she has a subtlety to her, and you can tell she's powerful, and she doesn't have to, prove it. I always say that Madame Morrible reminds me a lot of my mom. You know, my mom. She's not like the most warm person. She has like, this stoic power to her. And so it really was like that, like hit me hard, especially like at the end where she was like, boom, boom, listen. Like I was like, I'm here, I'm sat.
It's a presence, right? Like her screen presence, energy. Like when she's on the screen, she's the main character in the scene.
Yeah.
Even if she's not speaking, she's the main character in the scene. I mean, just brilliant. Absolutely. I can't think of a single thing I've seen her in where I was like, she wasn't.
Yeah.
Again, I honestly, I see why you watched it as many times as you did, because
Yeah.
I could watch it again right now. I could watch it again right now. It was powerful. And then, someone who's dealt with at times feeling different and unseen, it was, it was one of those things felt like that was for us.
Yeah. In The Wizard of Oz and I, she's saying all these lyrics that have foreshadowing that we all instantly get, like, oh yes, she's going to melt. We know that. We know people are going to celebrate when she dies. But she says, feeling things I've never felt. And I think it's a brilliant lyric because, things is so nebulous. It's not specific because she doesn't even know what she's going to feel. But then in the last song, Defying Gravity, she sings, it's me. She's feeling herself for the first time.
But, and being you is so cliche, right?
Yeah.
We've all lived it. It's so easy to tell people, oh, just be you.
Yeah.
Just love yourself. Life is not that easy.
Yeah.
It's not that easy. And she had to go through stuff, and it was powerful. It was powerful. And I think it's even more powerful even in that moment, right? Even in the end where she's stepping into herself, she acknowledges that she has no idea where it's going to go from here.
Yeah.
But knows this is what she has to do.
Exactly.
And that's what power is. Power isn't being in control of the outcome. It's being unafraid of the outcome, that you're just going to attack it and whatever happens, happens.
Exactly. Wow, that's really powerful.
It's why we're doing this. It's why you're here. It's why I started Stouda Space. To be honest, I started Stouda Space because I felt scared.
Yeah.
I felt absolutely scared. I started looking at the world and saying there are erasing voices. They're erasing spaces for voices to speak for people like myself, for people like yourself. And so I decided that I need to speak louder.
Yeah.
I need to speak more. I need to speak more often for those who maybe can't anymore, because like you said, they become the easy ones to blame.
Yeah, you said earlier how movies often tell us exactly what not to do and how it will turn out. And it's wild that even since this movie has came out just under a year ago, we're dealing with the consequences of those things. There are educators and teachers who are, being threatened into, not saying certain things or not being their most authentic selves. Why? Because of someone to blame. So they can blame somebody or villainize a certain group of people.
Fear, the biggest thing that happens with fear and when we look for people to blame is nothing ever actually changes. We just find someone to point and say it was their fault.
Yeah.
And we never actually fix any of the problems that we're having. It is deeply saddening, as I keep saying, but then again, in this weird way, like, also just deeply like, this is the time to show how human we are.
Exactly.
This test was always going to happen, so now we get to show it. And for
Exactly.
years, we've got to talk about how we're going to be good people. Well, now we got proof.
So let's move on to this entire cast is just perfectly cast. Jonathan Bailey, he is, I'm gonna say unarguably, like the one of the most charming people there is, and it's really easy to make a story about a prince and have him be, you know, the savior. But I kind of love how they kind of flipped it, and he's kind of like damsel.
He also appears to be the most emotionally intelligent person there besides our Green Witch, right? Like,
yeah.
he sees her, he sees people, he sees the emotions of it. He hides behind the prince thing, as Alphabet calls him out on later. He hides behind the dysfunction and the chaos. It's very clear from the first moment he tramples over Alphabet that he is a very deeply empathetic person, and while still being charming. And just in the fact that how he reacts to her being green is different than anyone we see at any other point. In that he makes a joke about it, that she blends in with the foliage, which is just an acknowledgement that he recognizes that she's green.
Yeah.
And it dismisses, not a dismissal of her as a person. He doesn't reduce her. He doesn't. He just immediately accepts her for who she is and what she is. I look forward to him in the next one.
Yes.
Because there's a very clear growth step that he's going to take.
Yeah.
And this seems very much so that he's about to drop everything to go help her.
Yeah.
Which I think is a great inversion on that story.
It's just, it speaks volumes to me. There's a part where Elphaba goes, she had just, you know, entered Glinda's room. She goes to close the door because, you know, it's windy. Literally just starts walking towards, and Glinda's immediately like, like, it's very telling, especially when people are prejudiced against certain people. You think that anything is violent or anything is, you know, going to be an attack.
Their existence is a threat.
Yeah, I love it because they didn't try to, you know, underplay or tone down certain things that very much do happen and are very real. I've felt that before, and I'm sure you've felt that before, and, you know, Cynthia definitely has felt that before, but like having, you know, the room just laugh at you or like make fun of you simply because you know, you're doing something that you think looks good or whatever. And especially since when she saw Glinda, and like Glinda like hid the wand and was like, oh my gosh, like it's painful.
Again, Glinda does a lot wrong, but in that moment she handled it right. In that moment she decided. And really, I think she got her power from Elphaba, in that realizing that, as she said, she does care, but she's going to do it anyways. And I think it gave Glinda the power, at least in a moment, to not care what anyone thinks.
Exactly.
For at least a moment, it gave her the power to not care what anyone thinks and to just do the right thing.
Yeah.
And that was the first time we've seen Glinda do the right thing without worrying about what it would look like. Yeah, no, from a writing and an arrangement perspective of the songs, and like everything lands exactly the way it's supposed to land, and it helps carry you to. Nothing feels wasted. Nothing feels like it was just there to be there. Everything points you towards the story, and it's okay. It was just, I don't know. It was just an incredible movie. I'm actually kind of glad I waited to watch it. Like, it's more relevant now than it was a year ago.
Yeah, which
so
is
it was
scary, but
I cannot say enough about how amazing the singing, the talent, the what those people are doing. Like, that's so hard. It's so hard to sing and dance and move and film and remember lines. I don't care how many takes you get to do it. It's hard. Over the last few years, I've been kind of starting a collection of films that I'm like buying on physical DVD that I want to be able to have for my own child one day. This is going in that group because it's powerful.
It's very, very difficult to make a movie musical because it's You know, the timing's completely different. It's a different discipline. And the way that they were able to do it, it's just like a master class of like, oh, this is how it can be done.
To do it and tie in all the real social themes and obviously again it was written 20 years ago, but the production choices, the editing choices to really emphasize certain points and still not take away from the musical part of it is just fantastic. It's just absolutely fantastic. And I'll be honest, even I was worried maybe I won't be able to sit through this all. Maybe I'll get bored. But I enjoyed every moment of it. There were times, anytime I thought, oh, maybe the music's going too long, they knew exactly when to stop, right? Or if dialogue went too long without music, they knew exactly when to add the music. And it just felt, it was, from a production, editing, and all stuff, it was brilliant.
I was very worried at first. I was like, oh, this feels like they're dragging it along, or they, you know, they're just making 2 parts just so they can make more money. But it's like, it truly, it felt, the pacing of it was perfect. And even by the end, like when it says to be continued, you're like, no, like keep it going.
And I think they knew how important such a movie was. I can't imagine you don't know it when you pick up said script.
Yeah.
And so you can tell the professionalism, the care that went into each line, each scene, and it makes for a truly special experience. I wish I would have went to the theater now. First, thank you for having me. Thank you for allowing me this platform to be up here with you and just talk about hopefully just being a decent person.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all I'm trying to talk about for the rest of my life, honestly, is be good people. Anybody out there listening, please just be good people.
Yeah.
We need more good people. The movie was amazing, honestly. I didn't expect to be so blown away by it, if I'm honest. Like I really was blown away by it.
I'm so glad.
And I'm so glad I got to watch it with you.
Oh.
I think it's important as well. I talk about you all the time.
Oh.
I talk about you all the time because I'm so proud of you.
I'm so glad. Yes. Thank you so much. Anybody who knows me knows that like Stouda here is like one of my biggest like role models in life, like mentors, like one of those people that like if there's anything happening or anything I don't know how to deal with or process, like he's always there and has been for the past decade, and I couldn't be more thankful. So yeah, make sure you guys go check out Stouda's space. He's working on getting it up, but he does have an Instagram with some sneak peeks into his insights and perspectives on the world.
Got a lot of stuff coming. A lot of stuff coming.
That's so exciting. Yes, and hopefully we'll be back in a few weeks to do a review of part 2.
I cannot wait. It's going to be a great time.
Yes, me neither. Okay, so yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Again, go check out Stouda. And yeah, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.